I think I think it's time to return back home.
Panic in the courthouse lobby. Drama hotter than any season finale yet. Mido storming in with a ripped dossier of bank statements, a crumpled subpoena in his fist, TV lights blazing in his face. Debbie's eyes are wide, mascara streaked, flanked by TLC handlers already muttering about legal disaster. Nobody's breathing. Everyone's rolling. This is beyond drama. This is an avalanche. The only sound is Jenny's gasp when Mido slams the paper on the table. Everyone's head snaps up. The numbers are unmistakable. Jenny's future fund. Totally gone. Debbie stares at the floor. Mido pins her with a glare. Still want to say you did nothing? His voice is a low growl, rage and hurt all twisted together. Behind them, a producer tries to call for a break, but the story's outpacing production. The room smells like coffee, sweat, and fear of headlines. The camera catches Jenny's face, tears quietly free-falling, cheeks flushed with betrayal. Mido jabs at the document. You drained her life. You lied to every single person here, on camera and off. Did you really think you could get away with it? Debbie clasps her trembling hands, but in the hush that follows, it's like her whole mask slides off. The silence is crushing, and the only thing louder is the click of another camera. But nobody knows what's about to hit them next, because in less than 24 hours, everything explodes wider. Lies come out. Facts go missing. TLC's own footage reveals betrayals even the producers didn't see coming. And Jenny? She has no idea that the person who sent her world spinning wasn't acting alone. 2 weeks ago, midnight's dragging into early morning. Jenny is alone in her kitchen, half the lights off, clutching her laptop and an old leather planner, nerves buzzing. The show's been a wild ride, but she's managed her money like a pro. All future fund, no splurges, safety net built up dollar by dollar. Until tonight. Tonight, a text from her bank wakes her up. Jenny yawns, taps the notification, and suddenly her heart is in her throat. 9,500. Gone. 3 withdrawals. Last one just hours ago. This must be a mistake, she whispers, voice shaking. She checks the app, scrolls through old deposits, tries to find any trace she missed it.
Gone.
She calls the bank but ends up stuck in a robot loop. Next, she calls her mom. No answer. Suddenly, her phone dings with a text. Should have watched her friends closer. The number is unlisted. Jenny freezes. Her mind races through every possible explanation. Was it the landlord, a hacker, someone from the gym? But there's only one person who ever watches her house who has a key who could have slipped in while she was filming. There's a gentle knock at the door. Debbie's voice floats in, syrupy sweet. Jenny? Are you okay, sugar? Want some tea? Jenny wipes her face, quickly closes her laptop, and pretends she's fine. Debbie steps in and sits at the table, 2 mugs in hand. Rough night, she smiles, but her eyes dart around the counters, notebooks, phone cords, like she's taking inventory. Jenny keeps her voice calm. Couldn't sleep. Thinking about my future. Debbie's smile curls. Gotta be careful who you trust these days, she says. People are shady. Jenny doesn't know what to believe, but she does know she won't forget that text. And this is just the first night. The next morning, everyone acts like it's business as usual. Jenny's smiling for the cameras, pouring coffee, hugging Debbie, while in her back pocket, she's got a secret, a sticky note with the suspicious withdrawal times written down. Mid-morning, Mido catches Jenny in the hallway. You look rough. Not sleeping, he asks, searching her face, reading everything unspoken. Jenny just shrugs. Long night. I miss home. Right then, Debbie walks in chipper. Who needs breakfast? She chirps, loading the toaster. Everyone acting like this is the sitcom moment. Mido just stares. Something is off, and he can smell it, especially when Debbie changes the subject every time money comes up. Andre, lounging on the sofa, scrolls through Instagram and rolls his eyes. Quiet but always observing. Later, Jenny finds her checkbook under a couch cushion she never uses. The cover's smudged, and 3 checks are missing. Fixing her hair in the mirror, she spots a yellow slip from an ATM. Withdrawal. 800, last night, 2:35 a.m. Only person on camera at that hour? Debby, claiming to be running out for Tums. Jenny's not ready to accuse. But the next event is supposed to be a couple's cooking class, so nobody's expecting a showdown. Jenny slips into her room, writes herself a note. Debby, trust, and presses it beneath her pillow. TLC's cameras keep rolling, even off hours. In the boom mic outtakes, the crew catches snippets. Debby complaining about carrying other people's weight, Jenny muttering about missing pieces from her life. That night, a junior camera op catches Debby on her cell phone, low-voiced. Don't worry, it all goes down tomorrow. She'll never see it coming. Nobody thinks much of it until the next morning. Jenny finds her purse unzipped, sunglasses missing, receipts scattered. Nothing valuable gone, except another ATM receipt. This one for $1,400. The withdrawal location? Not even close to their neighborhood. She confronts Debby, gently but direct. Hey, did you see my purse? Was here. Now it's open. Debby shakes her head, launching into a tangent about last night's party, somebody's cologne, anything but the missing money. But Jenny isn't the only one noticing Debby's patterns. Mido's on the case now, too, snooping through extra B-roll, rewinding security footage, scribbling timelines and check numbers on the back of a napkin. 3 days pass. The house simmers with tension. Mido finally snaps. He corners Debby at the breakfast bar. Calm, too calm. Funny how someone always loses something in this house, huh? Debby pretends to laugh. People should be more careful. I can't be. Everyone's lost and found. Mido's eyes cut to Jenny. Or maybe some people take what isn't theirs. Jenny grips her mug, knuckles white. Debby flinches, but covers it with a cough. That's not fair, Mido. Why would you accuse me? I help everyone, but Mido is relentless. Who had the keys to Jenny's apartment last week? Who went out for ice at 2 a.m. but came back empty-handed? Who knew the code to Jenny's safe because you helped her choose a strong password? Every cast member's watching now. Andre shrugs. Don't ask me. I don't do math. The crew whispers behind coughs. Producers are quietly emailing legal on their phones. Jenny finally meets Debby's eyes. If you're so honest, then show us your wallet. Let's see if those missing checks are there. Debby hesitates, then fumbles in her purse, spilling out gum, 3 receipts, and a crumpled check, made out to cash. Jenny gasps. Everyone sees. The moment freezes, but then Debby runs. Cameras dash after Debby, who barrels down the hallway, clutching her bag. Producers shout, "Don't leave set." Debby slips out the side door. The cameras hustle after, but Debby disappears into a waiting Uber. Word spreads. Debby has ghosted the entire cast. Jenny collapses in Andre's arms, sobbing.
I trusted her, Andre.
She was my rock. Andre says what everyone is thinking. Everyone's got something to hide on this show. It's just who gets caught first. By afternoon, TLC's legal is on a call with talent relations, lawyers cross-referencing footage, and crew locked down, phones surrendered pending investigation. The news leaks to tabloids, sending Justice for Jenny trending within hours. Fan accounts scour stills for clues. Everyone is looking for Debby, but it's not until Mido's next move that the true storm begins. The producers decide to let it play out on camera. If Debby returns, they tell the cast, all grievances must be addressed in front of the rolling cameras and a real court. Mido agrees, promising, I'm not letting this slide. A day later, Debby reappears, grim-faced, silent, flanked by 2 attorneys. An administrator from TLC meets them at the courthouse. Jenny watches from a hallway, tissues tight in her grip. Her hands never stop shaking. The judge arrives. Everyone stands. The courtroom is packed. Cast, crew, tabloid photographers, and at least 3 rival reality stars, hoping for a cameo and a storyline. Mido is called first. He tells everything, the checkbook, the missing money, the secret footage. He lays out a series of photos. Debby at the ATM, time-stamped withdrawals, side by side with TLC B-roll. Debby's turn. She claims innocence, accuses Jenny of being careless, swears she's being set up by jealous castmates. But when shown the check made to cash, her face drains. Jenny, voice barely above a whisper, simply says, "That was my future. You took it like it was nothing." Debby doesn't respond. The judge calls a recess. TLC goes dark, but the real show has only just begun. Deep inside TLC's digital vaults lies B-roll never meant to see light, a hidden camera installed after a previous high-profile theft scare on set. Producers, desperate for answers, rewind the tape. There it is. Debby, slipping into Jenny's bedroom during a supposed coffee run, pulling open drawers, lifting an envelope. On her way out, she finds Jenny's laptop and takes a quick photo of the screen. Bank login and all. Next frame, Debby sends a frantic text. It worked. She'll never know. Meet at the rehearsal room. 8 a.m. The recipient remains blurred on screen. TLC's legal says the story isn't over. With this evidence, the game flips. The missing key? A second accomplice, lurking just out of frame. The internet explodes. Threads dissect every frame, every background extra, every possible suspect. Mido does some sleuthing. He's convinced Debby wasn't acting alone. Reviewing production logs, he notices something strange. Every time money goes missing, so does a junior crew member, a new assistant named Ray, never in group photos, always lurking at late-night shoots. Jenny's even more unsettled when she remembers the Uber from that night. Debby wasn't alone. She saw a shadow move in the back seat. The app history? Deleted. Next producer meeting, Jenny shares her suspicions. TLC locks down Ray's badge, combs through old footage, runs background checks. The results set off alarm bells. Ray has priors, fraud, petty theft, 2 outstanding warrants in another state. Suddenly, the story isn't just about Debby. It's about who else knew, who else got paid, who else stands to lose everything if the truth hits the air. Over the next week, the house is a war zone. Cast members shuffle allegiances, some rushing to support Jenny, others secretly texting Debby for their own protection. Andre is blunt. "I'm just here for the story. Trust nobody." That line goes viral overnight. Behind the scenes, TLC security audits everyone's accounts, call history, and even fingerprints on Jenny's safe. They find multiple prints, Debby's, Ray's, and shockingly, another castmate's, Sarah, Jenny's old confidant. A producer interviews Sarah for her side. She cracks under pressure, admitting, "I told Debby Jenny's password. I thought it was harmless. She wanted to prank her, not steal." Now, every member of the house is on edge. Every camera is rolling. Viewers on social explode in fury, demanding justice and posting wild detective threads. Jenny, once so trusting, is now guarded, always glancing at doors and windows. The executive producer pulls the entire group into a conference room. "This isn't just about the show. There are real consequences now," she says, her voice trembling for the first time. They play the hidden footage for all the cast. The moment Debby sees herself on camera, she collapses into a chair, hiding her face behind shaking hands. Ray, watching from across the room, bolts for the door. Security stops him at the elevator and calls the authorities. TLC lawyers lay out the consequences. Debby faces charges. Ray is fired. Sarah's contract is put under review, and she's barred from all confessionals for the rest of the season. Jenny sits through it all silently. When asked what she wants to say to viewers, she simply whispers, "I never wanted this. I just wanted security, a little peace. But I never expected the betrayal would come from people I called friends." Court resumes. Debby's attorneys try to punch holes in the evidence. The check was old, the footage grainy. Maybe Jenny gave permission. But as surveillance is replayed, a string of texts emerges, tying Debby and Ray to every withdrawal. Debby buckles. On the stand, her voice cracks when asked the final time. "Did you steal from Jenny?" In tears, she finally nods. "I only meant to borrow it. I was desperate. Ray said it'd be fine. Nobody would check." Jenny's face is stone. Mido just looks away. The judge's gavel comes down. Debby's ordered to return the stolen funds. Ray is charged with conspiracy and theft. Sarah? She's cut from the show. TLC issues a statement. Producers scramble to recut the season. Posts flood every TLC subreddit, TikTok, and YouTube forum. Clips of Jenny's breakdown, Debby's confession, and Mido's righteous fury rack up millions of views. Fans call for a boycott, some threaten lawsuits, most just want answers. Jenny's mailbox fills with thousands of messages, support, offers of help, even anonymous threats. If you press charges, we'll expose more. Overnight, Jenny becomes a folk hero for the scammed lover crowd. Someone launches a GoFundMe. Within 24 hours, tens of thousands pour in. But Jenny can't sleep. She gets another anonymous text. Think she acted alone? Check your account again. This time, another 600 is missing. The fear is real. Nobody knows who's next, or who's watching from the shadows even now. Filmed live, aired with a short delay, the reunion is nothing like before. Jenny sits at center, stone-faced, flanked by Mido and Andre. Debby arrives escorted by security, court papers in hand. Sarah is missing. Ray? Already facing trial. The moderator cuts to the chase. What do you have to say for yourself? She asks Debby. Debby, gaunt and twitching, stares at her lap. I ruined everything. For everyone. All for money I never got to use. It was always about needing more. But I lost everything else in the process. My friends, my dignity, my life on this show. A long, echoing silence. Jenny's turn. She can barely look up. I didn't just lose money. I lost my sense of home. I thought reality TV would be an adventure. Instead, it broke me. Producers promised security, new contracts, and more background checks. But the damage is done. Viewers are gripped, but the cast is gutted. Just as filming wraps and the crew starts to pack up, Jenny's phone dings. Another message. The real story isn't over. Camera zooms on her face as she stands up, reading a new series of notifications. Funds are being withdrawn again. But this time, it traces not to Debby, Ray, or even Sarah. An unfamiliar name shows up. A person affiliated with production, accounting department. Jenny rushes to the producers, showing the evidence. The show's story flares up again. New suspicions, new betrayals, more footage to comb. Only the audience sees the final freeze frame, a background figure, one frame in a dozen episodes, always at catering tables, always glancing into the lens. Their name isn't even in the credits. Unmasking this accomplice is the real season's final, unfinished twist. The viewers are left howling for answers. Did Jenny ever get her safety net back? Was Debby the mastermind, or simply another pawn? Who else in the cast and crew was quietly taking what wasn't theirs? And what happens now, when TLC's own secrets are at risk of being exposed? The only thing certain? Somebody is still out there watching. And for Jenny, trust will never come easy again. As that last message hit Jenny's phone, everything seemed to slow. Half the cameras already powered down, reunion chairs being stacked, lights dimmed on the set. But Jenny's face stiffened. Something was happening. In the buzzing chaos, only Mido noticed. He snapped his fingers at the nearest producer. Start rolling again.
Now.
Instantly, the crew scrambled, shakily framing Jenny as she held her phone out. There it was, another withdrawal from her backup account. The name on the suspicious transaction? E. Garrison, a name nobody in the house claims to know. But every fan watching knew. One of the background accountants, silent all season, always seen shuffling receipts, was occasionally caught on cam near catering. Mido read the account details over Jenny's shoulder, mind racing. Garrison? Wasn't that the temp finance assistant just last week? Now, producers were dialing numbers, security was redirecting badge logs, and TLC Legal's inbox exploded with a new fire. Viewers lost their minds. Reddit was on fire. TikTok sleuths clipped every episode, hunting for E. Garrison. Theories stacked up. Was Garrison the real puppet master? Was Debby actually a scapegoat? And how did Jenny's information leak so easily, so fast? Everything before now suddenly seemed like just a shadow of a much darker game. TLC's safety bubble was gone. Now it was everyone for themselves. By midnight, Jenny couldn't sleep. Her eyes burned from reading messages. Random numbers, fake condolences, new threats. Mido sat at the edge of the couch, arms folded tight, reviewing a string of bank notifications on Jenny's app. Jenny whispered, "If it's not Debbie, not Ray, not even Sarah, then who is it now?" Mido didn't blink. "Someone who knows it's not just your money. They're sending a message." Suddenly, a shadow outside the window moved. Jenny jumped. A car idled by the curb, a TLC van, or maybe something else. She peeked through the blinds, pulse racing. Mido kept calm, leaning to whisper, "Want me to check?" Jenny nodded. He stepped outside, phone camera rolling just in case. The car revved and drove off, but not before a flash, like a camera or phone taking one last shot of the house. Inside, Jenny's hands trembled. Phone gripped so tightly her knuckles whitened. "I can't keep living like this," she muttered, voice on edge.
Upstairs, André's door creaked open.
"If you want me to sit watch all night, just say so, Jenny," he offered, shocking everyone with uncharacteristic loyalty. "Why?" Jenny asked, voice tiny. He shrugged. "You're not the only one with something to lose. Trust me." One camera, still rolling in night vision, caught Jenny crying in the kitchen, clutching her mom's necklace, whispering, "Please just let this end." Next morning, the production house was chaos. Two producers were arguing in a corner, one voice sharp, "We have to protect our cast." The other, more jaded, hissed, "Or our jobs. If this leaks, TLC burns." The execs tried to keep it professional. They called in private security, changed all house codes, and began auditing every badge swipe, vendor log, and staff member from the last 6 months. But not every producer was loyal to the cause. An anonymous email arrived to Jenny's inbox that afternoon, with one blurry attachment. Debbie sitting with a man who looked exactly like Garrison in a coffee shop across town, their faces close, papers between them. "Who sent this to you?" Mido asked, eyes scanning the sender's address. Masked, bouncing from a Russian domain. Jenny bit her lip. No name. No subject. Just that. Within hours, social media blew up. Fans began side-by-side photo comparisons, old screenshots of background cast, extras at catering, drivers, even delivery people. Every person near Jenny's circle was now a target. TLC's crisis PR team drafted a statement, only to have it further leaked by an intern angling for tabloid money. This wasn't a simple cast meltdown. It was a monster. Back in the house, nobody trusted anybody. When TLC's new producer, Mara, entered, she found Jenny, Mido, and André huddled at one end, silent, guarded. Debbie's name was forbidden. Ray and Sarah had already been quietly packed off under security watch, contracts terminated, no phones, no goodbyes. Jenny finally spoke up. "How do we even know it's safe here anymore?" Mara promised, "We have security everywhere. If anyone here takes so much as a soda from the fridge, I get an alert." But André rolled his eyes. "You said that before Sarah. And before Ray." Jenny, exhausted, panic-thin, cried, "This was supposed to be a fresh start. Why did it get so twisted?" André, brutal as ever. "Because trust is currency, Jenny, and you are rich in it. That makes you a target on this show." Mido slammed his fist on the table. "Well, not anymore." Every word was caught by rolling camera, a viral TikTok moment within hours. Fans posted side-by-side reactions. Team Jenny, Team Mido. Conspiracy threads blooming like wildflowers. A few days pass. Jenny wakes to another alert. Her Netflix account has been hacked. Reset emails pinging from the same unknown IP listed on last week's withdrawals. She calls TLC security. This could be another test. In the confession room, Mara, the producer, leans in. "Your login wasn't in the crew log. Someone used a burner phone in the parking lot." Jenny's blood freezes. Her personal life breached again. Meanwhile, Mido is on his own mission. He reaches out to a tabloid tipster, someone who's sold stories on past seasons. "How much for the real dirt on Garrison?" he asks, practically snarling down the phone. The tipster laughs. "Depends. Is this a one-person show, or is the network in deeper than you think?" Mido's quiet. The tipster coughs. "You're not just up against thieves. There are higher-ups who knew." Within 24 hours, a package arrives at the house. No note, just an old, battered flash drive. Producers check it for malware. Inside, contracts. All marked with Debby's and separately, with initials e.g. Paired with wire transfers, cash payouts, bonuses listed for extra accommodations outside contract. More, one document detailed emergency privacy breach stipends with Jenny's name. The dates matched the days she lost her savings. It wasn't just about petty theft or cast drama anymore. This was on a network level. TLC's legal department swings into full defense mode. They deny, and deny. Official emails go out. We have no knowledge of any network encouraged impropriety. But now, Jenny's drama isn't just ratings gold. It's network survival. All season, social had been watching. Now, news started breaking nationally. Reality stars account targeted by Network Insider. Panels debate the ethics of reality TV. Old contestants resurface for interviews. Manipulation is part of the package. Was this inside job encouraged or covered up? Jenny remembers Debby's trembling confession at reunion. I ruined it for everyone. Maybe Jenny thinks she wasn't lying. Maybe she did act alone, but it was always easier because the system looked away. Jenny can't rest. Every beep of the phone feels like another ambush. She records voice memos at 2 a.m. just to sort her thoughts. She talks directly to the camera. All those nights I joked about the cameras catching my worst moments? Turns out, my darkest moments were happening behind the scenes. The fandom is in full detective mode. Message boards theorize that Jenny's ex, mentioned only once in the season premiere, may have tipped off Garrison. Old footage is slowed frame by frame. Fans note who stands closest to Jenny whenever she discusses her finances. Tiny details, like Mara slipping her a napkin after the ATM theft, are suddenly suspect. A viral TikTok points out, notice how episode 7 shows Garrison in the background, logging receipts, then quickly shuffling out of frame when Jenny appears. Who was he texting? Hashtags like GarrisonGate and Protect Jenny explode overnight. Jenny alternates between paranoia and resolve. Sometimes she's crushed, sometimes she records defiant voiceovers. If I can't trust my friends, I'll trust the truth. Let the world see. As network lawyers fight off lawsuits, Mido launches his own investigation. He sits in front of a wall of receipts, phone records, text logs, clipboards filled with spiderweb diagrams. In the middle, Jenny. Off each line, notes. Debby, Ray, Sarah. And now a new branch. Garrison. He circles every appearance in the home, every money transfer, every suspicious one-on-one interaction. In a dramatic scene caught late at night, Mido corners Mara in the kitchen. Who hired Garrison? He asks, arms crossed. She hesitates, avoids his eyes. He was a temp. Payroll runs through head office. I didn't know him. Mido. Somebody did. Somebody gave access. A stunned silence. Mido lays out his theory on camera. This isn't just about Jenny. If Garrison could sneak past security, what about the season before? Or the one before that? He proposes a check of all financial records, past and present. Producers scoff until the auditors arrive. Suddenly, it's not just Jenny's future, but the network's reputation on the block. 3 days later, Jenny finds an envelope at her door. No return address. Inside, a single Polaroid. Garrison in the catering tent, talking to someone with a name badge half visible. Lou. A note scrawled on the back. You're not alone. Trust nobody. The next withdrawal won't be yours. Underneath is a thumb drive. Mido and Jenny load it on a clean computer. Inside, raw clips from before the first theft, showing Garrison shadowing Jenny's path, even switching out envelopes in a mail cart when he thought nobody was watching. Was someone helping Jenny or luring her into a trap? Social media goes berserk again. Now, fan theorists are on the case. Some claim to be close friends with Lou, a longtime TLC tech who disappeared mid-season. Jenny is torn. Is this a genuine lifeline or someone leading her further into the web? The show decides there's no way out but through the storm. A live panel special, Unmasking the Betrayer, is greenlit. Cast and crew gather in front of live cameras, phones confiscated, security everywhere. Jenny, white-knuckled, sits center stage beside Mido and Andre. Across from her sit current and former crew, each grilled one by one. Mara is called first. She denies everything, her hands shaking. Then, after 3 hours, Garrison is led onto the set.
His face is blank.
The crowd is silent. Jenny reads the bank transactions aloud, voice breaking. Why me? Garrison shrugs. It was never just about you. The whole system's wide open. I just took my chance. But I'm not alone. You'll never catch us all. The audience gasps.
Andre flinches.
Mido snaps. Who else? Who touched Jenny's accounts? Garrison only smiles. What happens off camera is always more interesting. Sure hope you all checked your balances, too. Cameras cut as security steps in. The live feed, viral instantly. By the next day, the show is the top headline everywhere. TLC suspends all future tapings. An internal review begins. Trust is shattered across the cast, crew, even the audience. Jenny is offered a private security detail. Andre is on a podcast telling his story. They say reality TV is scripted, but this? He shakes his head. You can't write betrayal this real. Mido disappears from the house for 2 days, no word, his belongings gone. When he returns, he's silent, eyes hollow. Found out I wasn't just looking out for Jenny, they got to me too. My savings. Gone. Now no one is safe. Weeks go by. Jenny quietly packs her things, heading home before contract ends. She posts a blurry selfie with Andre, captioned only the ones who stayed real. Comments flood in support, tears, endless theories. Another anonymous envelope arrives, a single key and a card. Change the locks. It's never really over. And then, the final bombshell. An email leak shows TLC's insurance quietly paying off multiple ex-cast members over privacy events in past years. This wasn't the first time, and maybe not the last. Jenny scrolls Reddit and finds a chilling new rumor. A cast member from a totally different show spotted Lou in a new city with a tattoo matching Garrison's. The fandom explodes, asking, does the web go even deeper? Is this the end of the TLC trust crisis? Or the beginning of a franchise-wide reckoning? The only thing Jenny can say for certain, on TLC, the show never really ends. Trust no one. And watch your counts.